Call the meeting to order, and the first item on the agenda is the agenda, and I would welcome a motion to adopt it or amend it.
Motion to adopt.
Thank you, President Paul. We have a second.
Okay.
Second by Councilor McGee. Thank you. You're hearing us okay? Sounds like good. Is there any discussion of the motion? Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Are any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We have an agenda. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming together here. Looks like a pretty manageable agenda. Hopefully we can get to it relatively quickly. We will next go to public forum. I do not see anyone in person for the public forum. We have a couple of attendees online. If you would like to be recognized, please use the raise hand function if you're looking to be recognized for the public forum. Going once, going twice, not seeing any hands. So we will close the public forum and move to the consent agenda. The consent agenda, which is item. That's what I was conflating there. Item 3.01 and 3.02 are the minutes of November meetings. Can we have a motion regarding the consent agenda?
So if somebody else wants to make a motion, Mayor, that's fine. I wasn't here on November 14th, so I feel like I should not be voting on that. I assume were Councilors McGee and Hightower. I can't remember if they were both here.
So, yes.
So if you don't mind breaking it up, I would make a motion to I would.
You want to make the November 1st motion?
Yeah, I would make a motion to approve the minutes on November 1st.
Great. Is there a second? Okay. Second by Councilor Hightower. Any discussion on the item 3.01? We're sort of breaking up the consent agenda here. Any discussion on 3.01? Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? That motion carries unanimously. And now can we have a separate motion from Councilors McGee or Hightower on 3.02?
I'll move to.
Go ahead.
I'll move to approve the minutes of November 14th as listed on board docs.
Great. Second from Councilor McGee. Great, excellent. And so just the three of us, I believe, are voting on that. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? That carries 3-0 with one abstention. Okay, moving to item 4.01. We have four items for approval and recommendation to the City Council. 4.01 is the issuance of a grant anticipation note for the cost of certain airport improvement projects. Let's speak to this, or Rich? Or?
I will just quickly say this is to approve a grant anticipation note in an amount up to $10 million. It is exactly the same as an approval we've received last year, and just reflects the fact that the airport, much to our good fortune, is the recipient of several FAA grants. But we do need this instrument to ensure that we have the cash flow available. All the costs are built into those grants. So this is really just sort of standard operating procedure. But of course, any of us stand by to answer questions if you have any.
President Paul.
Thanks. So I'll recommend that council approve the attached resolution, and it's also specifically note, although it's probably not protocol, but just simply that people understand that even the interest incurred on the GAN borrowing is 100% reimbursable. So it's really about as close as you can get to everything.
Yes,
Like it is everything. And that's right?
that is right.
Okay.
Yes.
So yes, I will make a motion to approve the to recommend that the council approve the attached resolution.
Second.
Second from Councilor Hightower. I'll just add, it wasn't always standard operating procedure. It was a good innovation of last decade of my memory that we've been doing it this way, and glad it's been a good innovation. Any further discussion, questions?
No, I would just ask if there's a way to know, and I could read all of the fine print, I probably didn't read everything. As far as the number of things where it covers many projects, including runway, taxiway, terminal apron, noise mitigation, etc. Would anyone have any idea what the percentage of it is that is part of the noise mitigation measures for residences, residential sound installation, or updating the noise exposure map? In percentage terms, does anyone have any idea? And if you don't, that's fine.
I wouldn't have the percentage right off the bat. I think it's the $10 million is just used to draw down when we need to. It's very rare that we would use it for the noise program. In fact, I don't think we have in the last many years. These are for the big construction costs, just in case we need that cash for those upgrades.
Okay, all right,
It is eligible though, if we decided to.
right, okay.
Okay, seeing no further hands, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Are any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. This brings us to 4.02, which are 2 grant amendments for the Community Justice Center. Rachel, you want to see this up?
Sure. These are 2 amendments that have come towards grants that are already been approved by the Board of Finance and City Council. One for the Department of Corrections, one from the AGO. The AGOs was made to make up, portions of money was distributed to diversion agencies around the state to make up for lost fee revenue. Since our programs rely on fees to cover the budget, and since the pandemic has started, no agency is meeting their budgeted fee allotments. So the AGO added $30,000 to our grant. And then for the DOC, from Justice Reinvestment Act monies, they are distributing $5,000 per CJC around the state for DEI related initiatives. This is just a motion to accept additional money for approved grants.
Very good. Thank you for that, Rachel. Are we ready for a motion?
I'm happy to make the motion as recommended on board docs.
Great. Thank you, Councilor Geese. Seconded from President Paul. Further discussion? Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. That item's approved. Thank you.
Thanks.
4.03, utility easement with Green Mountain Power for Beta Technologies. I think it's a fairly straightforward item. It shall be here necessary. Floor is open for a motion or questions.
I would love just an explanation. Even though despite the straightforward comment, there's just not a whole lot of detail on what's going on and why in the memo, so.
Certainly. So this is a utility easement with Green Mountain Power to allow them to install some underground cabling, which they will need access to thereafter installation for routine maintenance. And it is just a corner of our property. It does affect 2 others that GMP is working with them individually on, and it does feed the new Beta facility.
And when we're talking about clearing, because I think we said, I guess how much land is being, like what is the volume of land that's being cleared or soil that's being moved?
So the soil and the sod will be lifted, the underground utility will be installed, and then it will be replaced over top of it. And it's a small corner, it's not many, yeah, a couple thousand square feet.
Great, thank you.
Any further questions, sir? Are you ready for a motion?
And I'm happy to make the motion as recommended in board docs.
Thank you, President Paul. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilor McGee. Further discussion? Great. We'll go, I'll just say before we go to vote, it's exciting to see more steps towards the opening of that facility and what we expect to be a very impactful addition to to what's happening at the airport. So with that, we will go to vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
4.04, final item of this section of the agenda, liquid deicer unit purchase from Fortbrand Services. This is sorry, maybe it's in the materials, I missed it, but it's a $68,000 item. Does this need to go to full council?
I was gonna ask that as well.
Don't think it does.
It's not a multi-year.
All right, well, we'll
I think that is just a mistake.
So if that's the case, then actually, it's possible that the recommended action is actually correct.
I think that it is,
It's just in the wrong place.
that is.
Actually,
Well, it
approving
looks-
and recommending it. we approve.
looks like it started to edit out the recommended.
Right.
Yeah.
Council, but then fully edited it out, so that probably got.
How about
So,
if I make a motion that we approve and authorize the purchase?
Yes.
great.
From Fortbrand Services for the liquid de-icing unit, amount of $68,000.
Thanks for that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Hightower. Would you like to add anything to?
Nope, this is gonna be a real benefit for us because it works in conjunction with the solid de-ice we put down. And it's actually gonna increase the effectiveness of the solid de-ice that we currently use, and it reduces the amount of time that it takes for the action to keep the runways open. So it's a huge benefit for us. So something that I do want to point out, though, it's not 50-inch booms, it's actually 50-foot. I don't know if it needs to be amended there, so.
Thank you for that clarification. Any discussion? Seeing that, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The item is approved. Thank you. Thank you. Two more items. 5.01, authorization to execute an amended contract for stormwater dredging and vegetation removal services for Courtland Construction Corporation's DPW Water Resources item. Chapin, are you representing on this one? Or?
Yeah, I do.
Great, thanks. Do you want to tee it up any further?
So I can go first. We bid out a project with 100 cubic yards for comparing the bids. So we found the lowest bidder. When we went to Board of Finance previously, we didn't increase that 100 cubic yards to the actual amount of cubic yards that we anticipate for this project. So this, that's the main cost. So that's the $14,504 increase. And there's a couple smaller items on there, so we itemized those out, and so we have a total $18,469 request to increase for their contract.
Very good. How would the board like to proceed? Do we have questions or motion? Great, thank you, President Paul. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Councilor McGee. Discussion. Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? The motion carries unanimously, and thank you both.
Thank you.
This brings us to the final action of the night, a request for approval of an $86,575 budget neutral amendment for the FY23 airport budget. Welcome, Marie. Want to tee this one up quickly?
So this budget amendment is sort of standard protocol. We come to you during the year as we have things that we find we need to increase or decrease certain account items, and that is what we're doing here. Try to explain why we were doing it, and we were able to shift things around from savings we've had in other accounts or don't expect to have in other accounts. Get some savings in our real estate taxes that we had estimated, because we are always working with an estimated rate, as well as we did not have to use our revenue anticipation note, and we're not renewing that this year. So I was able to use those funds and reallocate them to where we needed them.
Great. Any, go ahead, President Paul.
Thank you. So when it comes to real estate taxes, that's $15,000. That's a small amount. How much was it was an estimate, obviously you have to have an estimate. The actual bills are lower than budgeted. Were they a lot lower than budgeted?
They weren't a ton lower than budget. We're pretty close because it's about $800,000 that we pay in taxes. So it's a fairly small amount that I always try to go, have enough in there, or pretty close to it.
I mean, is $15,575 the vast majority of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Of this.
Of the
overage,
correct. Yeah. And as well on the debt service, you would just.
We're not
budget for
using it.
$50,000, you're not using it.
We're not using it.
Is that what you had in the budget, $50,000?
Yes, that was for if we had needed to borrow under revenue anticipation now, that was the line item, and we're not doing that.
Well, okay. All right, I'm happy to, unless others want to make the motion as recommended on board docs.
Thank you, President Paul. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hightower. Any further discussion, questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Great, the motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Team Airport. And with that, we have concluded all the business on the agenda. So if there is no objection, I will adjourn the Board of Finance at 5:24 p.m. See everybody next week.